Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking all about the Cyprus fashion scene, and we're zeroing in on a massive question. In a market that's just packed with competition, how does a fantastic brand go from being totally invisible online to being, well, impossible to miss? The answer, it turns out, is search engine optimization, or SEO. So if you're out there running an online fashion store, maybe you have a local boutique, or you're launching an up-and-coming streetwear label anywhere in Cyprus, yeah, this one's for you. You know how it is. Fashion is a tough, tough world. And here's the hard truth. You could have the most amazing designs, the perfect collection. But if you're just lost in all that online noise, you're pretty much invisible to the very people you're trying to sell to. And that, right there, is what we're going to call the invisibility problem. It's honestly the single biggest thing that can stop a brilliant fashion brand from ever really taking off. And the stakes are incredibly high. Just think about it for a second. Every single time a potential customer in Cyprus searches on Google for a product you sell, and they don't find you, they do find your competitor. That's not just a missed click. That's a lost sale going straight to someone else. But here's the good news. Being invisible isn't a life sentence. There is a really powerful long-term fix for this problem. And it's not about some short-term gimmick or trend. It's about building real sustainable growth, and it's all driven by SEO. So what is SEO, really? At its heart, it's the process of making sure that when those style-conscious customers in Cyprus go looking on Google, your brand is the one they see. It's about pulling in the right people organically, without having to pay for every single visit. And this is a really important point to get. Social media is awesome, right? It's great for creating buzz, for jumping on the latest trends. But Google traffic, that's a whole different game. It builds your brand's authority for the long haul, and maybe most importantly, people searching on Google, they're not just scrolling. They're looking to buy. That's why this kind of traffic turns into actual sales so much better over time. Okay, so we get the why. The obvious next question is the how. So let's break down the exact 4-part SEO blueprint that's designed specifically for fashion brands to win in a market like Cyprus. The whole strategy really comes down to 4 key pillars. It's about optimizing your products, owning your local area, using the right keywords, and building real authority in the fashion world. It all has to start with a solid foundation, and that's your product optimization. It doesn't matter if you're on Shopify or WooCommerce. Every single page, from your dresses to your denim jeans, has to be tuned perfectly. This is how you tell Google exactly what you're selling, so it can show it to the people who are actually looking for it. Pillar 2. Now, if you have a physical store, listen up. Local SEO is an absolute must. Just imagine someone walking through Limassol. They pull out their phone and search fashion store in Limassol. You need to be the one that pops up on their map. That's how an online search turns into a real person walking through your door. The third part is all about keywords. And we're not just guessing here. These are the actual phrases your ideal customers are typing into Google every day. Getting that #1 spot for streetwear brands in Cyprus or eco-friendly clothing Cyprus, that's not just for bragging rights. That's a direct pipeline to your most valuable audience. And the last pillar is about authority. See, when respected fashion blogs, influencers, or lifestyle magazines in Cyprus link back to your website, they're sending a huge signal to Google that says, hey, this brand is the real deal. These links are like digital votes of confidence that give your rankings a major boost. A blueprint is one thing, right? But the proof is in the results. So let's take a look at what this strategy has actually done for real fashion brands, right here in Cyprus. First, just look at this number. One store, built on Shopify, saw a 300% increase in organic traffic. That's 3 times more potential customers finding their brand through Google, all without spending a dime on ads for those clicks. But you know, traffic is just a number if it doesn't lead to sales. Well, it did. Another online boutique actually tripled its monthly revenue. And get this? It only took 5 months. That's absolutely game-changing. And this right here is what it's all about. One brand based in Limassol now ranks #1 on Google for more than 10 different super competitive fashion keywords. That isn't just being visible. That's total digital dominance. They basically own the top shelf online. So let's bring it all home. This whole strategy is about so much more than just a few technical tricks. It's about changing the fundamental way your brand even gets found in the first place. The biggest takeaway here is pretty simple. A smart SEO plan gets your products in front of the right people consistently, organically, and at the exact moment they're thinking about buying. And the journey doesn't have to end there. For brands that are ready to go even bigger, you can build on this foundation with more advanced tactics. Things like full e-commerce overhauls, regular SEO audits to find problems, and even targeted Google ads to launch new collections with a bang. So we'll leave you with one last question to think about. You've poured your heart and soul into creating a unique fashion brand. But is it truly being seen by the audience it deserves? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.